God deconstructs you before He reconstructs you. Have you ever felt like your world is cracking? Like everything you thought was solid is suddenly fracturing right before your eyes? I'm Rutger Steele for Gone Gospel. I'm really glad you're here right now. Why? Because I intend to pray while I upload this video and the thumbnails. I'm praying for you. I'm praying that you find this video today in order to understand why you've gone through what you've gone through during the last few seasons. I hope to open your eyes. I hope to expand your mind. I hope you will end up feeling your reconstruction. Imagine a tiny seed pushed into dark soil. The first thing it does is crack through the surface, not sprout. It's an act of self-destruction that looks like death. And yet, that very breaking through is what allows roots to shoot down and a sprout to reach for the sun. No crack, no crop. I'm not talking about botany. I'm talking about you. If your life feels like it's being deconstructed, piece by painful piece, stay with me. What looks like destruction is often divine construction in disguise. God isn't tearing you down to punish you. He's clearing the ground. He deconstructs you not to destroy you, but to reconstruct you for something extraordinary. This is a pattern woven throughout the stories of faith. Nearly every person God used for something monumental was first snapped in half. Their career, their confidence, their comfort, everything they relied on was dismantled. Moses went from being a prince in Egypt to 40 years of desert goat duty. Joseph, a favored son, was sold into slavery by his own family and left for dead in a pit. David, anointed the next king, spent over a decade hiding in caves, hunted by a mad king. Peter, the boldest disciple, cowered in a courtyard and denied he ever knew Jesus 3 times. And the Apostle Paul, a powerful religious leader, was struck blind and helpless on the road to Damascus. Each breaking was a necessary demolition that cleared space for God to build something indestructible through them. If you feel broken or shattered right now, congratulations. You're in good company. You qualify. The question isn't if God will deconstruct, but will you hand over the blueprints and let Him work? Let's walk through the Bible's gallery of broken people to see the masterpieces God built from the rubble. Consider Moses. He fled Egypt, a murderer, and spent 4 decades herding sheep, becoming a stuttering recluse. When God called him at the burning bush in Exodus 3, Moses' first response was, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" He felt utterly inadequate. Exactly. God used that humbled, broken man to lead a nation out of slavery, not because of his former power, but because of the deep dependence he learned in the desert. Then there's Joseph. He went from a coat of many colors to a blood-stained rag in a pit to the stripes of a prisoner. Each change stripped away his ego and self-reliance. But when he finally stood before Pharaoh, he said with true humility, "I cannot do it, but God will," Genesis 41:16. He gave God the credit. His breaking prepared him to save nations from famine. David was anointed king as a boy in 1 Samuel 16. But his path to the throne was through years of running, hiding, and even his own devastating moral failure in 2 Samuel 11. It was this breaking that forged a man who understood grace, penning the words, "The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise." Psalm 51:17. David's kingdom endured because he learned to rely on God's strength, not his own. Peter swore he'd die with Jesus, but in Jesus' darkest hour, he swore he didn't even know him. Luke 22:54-62. That crushing failure, the bitter tears of his denial, was his breaking point. But it was that broken man who, after being restored by Jesus, stood up at Pentecost and saw thousands come to faith. Acts 2. His failure became the foundation for a fearless faith. Finally, Paul. He had every credential, a Pharisee of Pharisees. But a blinding encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus flattened him. Acts 9. Blind and helpless, he learned total dependence on the God he once persecuted. He would later write, "Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. For when I am weak, then I am strong." 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. Do you see the pattern? Before the platform comes the pit. Before the promotion comes the prison. God empties us of our pride so he can fill us with his power. So, why does God orchestrate these seasons of breaking? What is the divine purpose behind the pain? 1. To break our pride. Proverbs 16:18 warns that pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. God, in his love, often allows a smaller, controlled demolition now to prevent a catastrophic collapse later. Our pride is a barrier to him. God says he looks with favor on the one who is humble and contrite in spirit and who trembles at my word, Isaiah 66:2. A crushed spirit isn't something to fear. It's the very altar where God meets us. 2. To build our dependence. Our human nature screams, "I can do this myself." Brokenness forces us to whisper a more honest truth. "God, I can't." It's in that moment of helplessness that grace becomes your lifeline. As Psalm 34:18 reminds us, the Lord is close to the broken-hearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Remember when Jacob wrestled with God? He walked away with a new name and a permanent limp, Genesis 32:24-32. That limp was a constant physical reminder to lean on God. 3. To forge our character. The Bible promises us that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. Romans 5:3-5. Character is forged in the furnace of affliction. Without the fire, we lack the spiritual strength to carry the weight of our calling. This is why James 1:2-4 tells us to consider it pure joy whenever you face trials, not because pain is fun, but because the testing of your faith is producing something unbreakable within you. 4. To expand our capacity. Jesus took the 5 loaves and broke them before they were multiplied to feed thousands, Matthew 14:19. Breaking creates space. It stretches our capacity for faith, for impact, and for a purpose bigger than we could ever imagine. God often empties our hands of what we think we need, so he can fill them with what he knows we need for his kingdom. He takes the broken pieces and multiplies them. Maybe your deconstruction is a pink slip, the grief of a miscarriage, the trauma of a sudden divorce, a doctor's terrifying diagnosis. In these moments, it feels like God has abandoned you. But what we call abandonment, God calls an appointment. The classroom is painful, but the lessons are essential. I know a man who lost his dream job. He was devastated and humbled, forced to deliver groceries to make ends meet. While dropping off an order, he met a single mom whose child was struggling in school. My friend, who used to design complex software, began tutoring this child. That one act of service sparked an idea. He started a small non-profit to mentor kids from low-income families. Today, that program has changed thousands of lives. The layoff that felt like the end was actually the beginning. It wasn't a detour. It was God's compass, redirecting him to a purpose far greater than he had ever imagined. God specializes in turning our deepest wounds into our greatest ministry. He doesn't waste a single tear. If you're standing in the rubble right now, what do? How do you cooperate with the divine architect? Surrender your control. God invites you to let go. Stop telling yourself, if I just try harder, I can fix this. Take a moment and hand him the pen. Say it out loud. God, I can't. You can. James 4:6 promises that God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Practice handing over control in prayer. Anchor yourself in Scripture. When anxiety and fear rush in, you need an anchor. Cling to God's promises. Let Psalm 46:1 be your reality. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Let 2 Corinthians 12:9 be your mantra. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Speak these truths out loud until they are louder than your fears. Reframe your question. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me, God?" ask, "What are you teaching me through this, God?" This small shift changes you from a victim into a student. Start a journal. It will help you see God's fingerprints in the middle of the mess, turning your panic into perspective and revealing His guiding hand. Serve someone else. A broken heart can still love. Don't let your pain paralyze you. Volunteer. Make a meal for a neighbor. Babysit for a friend. Purpose is discovered in motion. As you pour yourself out for others, even from a place of lack, you create an empty space for God to pour back into you, just as Romans 12:1 calls us to be living sacrifices. Find your people. Isolation is the enemy of healing. Community is a lifeline. Find a small group, a recovery program, or a few trusted friends you can be honest with. Healing happens in circles of shared vulnerability, where other believers can support you, pray for you, and walk with you toward restoration. If this message is for you, if you feel the truth of it in your soul, type "I'm ready" in the comments below. Let others know they are not alone in the rubble. Hit that subscribe button for more reminders that God never wastes a wound. And please share this with someone you know who feels like they're falling apart. This may not be their end. It may be the divine setup for their greatest comeback. Your deconstruction is not a detour from your destiny. It is the doorway to it. A seed must crack to grow. Grapes must be crushed to make wine. Grain must be ground to become bread. The result is always something that nourishes and brings joy. Let your splintered dreams and broken heart become the fertile ground for something more beautiful than you could ever build on your own. When God deconstructs you, He's not finished with you. He's just getting started. He is clearing the canvas for His masterpiece. Hand Him the pieces. The life He reconstructs will astonish you, and it will bring glory to Him. Trust the process. Trust the potter. We sincerely hope this video, God Deconstructs You Before He Reconstructs You, resonated with you, and if it did, please watch it again and again. Share it with family and friends. Share it with those who suffer. Share it with those who seek eternal life. A like, a share, or subscribe from you pushes Gone Gospel out to those in need. Please share your thoughts below, as we would absolutely love to hear from you. Subscribe, especially if you're a believer or a seeker. Gone Gospel is here for you. We'll let you know when we have another piece of the divine puzzle to share.